all, welcome back. Kids, by now you understood about the chemical reactions and chemical equations. Each element reacts differently depending upon its reaction capacity, which further depends upon valence electrons, which you have read earlier. Here, let's try to know about the different types of chemical reaction. We can divide the chemical reactions into 5 types: combination chemical reaction, decomposition chemical reaction, single displacement chemical reactions, double displacement chemical reactions, and redox reactions. Now let's explore these reactions one by one. First is combination chemical reactions. In combination reactions, 2 or more reactants form one product. The general form can be represented as A plus B give rise to AB. Here you can see that 2 reactants combine to form a single product. A compound is a mixture of 2 or more elements. For example, O2 is a molecule, but CO is a compound. We can understand it much better with the following examples. First example is the reaction of sodium and chlorine to form sodium chloride. Here we can see in the balanced equations, the S with sodium indicates that sodium is in solid state, whereas G with chlorine indicates that chlorine is in gaseous state. Example 2 is burning of coal, that is carbon, to give carbon dioxide. Here, when coal is burnt, heat is evolved in this process, which is more than the heat supplied to the reactants. Thus, due to overall heat evolved in the reaction, this reaction is called an exothermic reaction. So, the chemical reaction in which heat is also released along with the formation of product is known as exothermic chemical reaction. And the heat energy released may be utilized in many ways. The energy released by burning coal is used to generate electrical energy in coal-powered stations. One more example of exothermic reaction is burning of natural gas. First, let me tell you what is a natural gas. Natural gas is Earth's cleanest fossil fuel and is colorless and odorless in its natural state. It is composed of 1 carbon and 4 hydrogen atoms, or commonly known as methane. Natural gas is a fuel that is commonly used in home furnaces and gas stoves. Now let's burn this natural gas. When we burn this natural gas, we get a methane flame, that is a blue flame. The combustion of methane is represented by equation below. Combustion means reaction occurs when a substance reacts quickly with oxygen. The reaction can be written as CH4 plus 2O2 give rise to CO2 plus 2H2O. A complete combustion reaction occurs when a fuel reacts quickly with oxygen and produces carbon dioxide and water. Do you know there is an exothermic reaction happening inside us? Can you guess? You will be very excited to know this. It's our process of respiration. Let's see how. The energy required by our body to stay active is provided by the food which we eat. During digestion, food particles are broken down into simpler substances. For example, wheat, rice, potatoes, etc. all contain carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are broken down into simpler substances called glucose. Glucose on combustion with oxygen gives CO2 and H2O and evolves heat. This reaction is called respiration. Here's the reaction. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 give rise to 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus ATP. Respiration is a very special form of burning fuel. It involves the burning of sugar with oxygen within the cell of every living organism to produce the energy needed for all the reactions of life along with water and carbon dioxide as waste products. Second is decomposition chemical reactions. Decomposition reactions are really the opposite of combination reactions. In decomposition reactions, a single compound breaks down into 2 or more simpler substances, that is, elements or compounds. In journal form, it can be represented as AB give rise to A plus B. Let's understand this better with few examples. First of all, let's see an example with water. When we pass electric current into the water, the electric current initiates the reaction in the water. The water decomposes into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. The decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen gases is represented as H2O in liquid state give rise to H2O gaseous plus O2 gaseous. Word elect refers to the passage of electric current. Second example is, let's find out what we get if we supply heat to ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate is an essential body mineral. Ferrous sulfate is used to treat iron deficiency anemia which happens due to the lack of red blood cells inside our body. Now let's take some ferrous sulfate in a test tube and let's heat it as shown. Ferrous sulfate crystals contain water molecules as FeSO4.7H2O. Upon heating, ferrous sulfate loses these waters and becomes anhydrous ferrous sulfate, that is FeSO4, which is white in color. Anhydrous means a substance which contains no water. Upon heating, further anhydrous ferrous sulfate is decomposed and produces ferric oxide, which is Fe2O3, sulfur dioxide SO2 and sulfur trioxide SO3 gas. This reaction can be represented as FeSO4.7H2O. When we supply heat to it, it gives rise to FeSO4 plus 7H2O. This FeSO4 further breaks down into Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. Now, one more example on decomposition reactions about calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is a non-toxic and odorless compound commonly found as a white mineral which occurs naturally in chalks, limestones and marbles. Also, it has medicinal benefits too. It is used as an antacid or a calcium supplement. Now, if we heat this calcium carbonate powder taken in a test tube, it decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is released upon heating, so it is called a thermal decomposition reaction to form calcium oxide, which is commonly known as a quicklime. This reaction can be represented as CaCO3 give rise to CaO plus CO2. Now, example number 4 is, when lead nitrate is heated, it breaks down into yellow color lead oxide, colorless gas of oxygen and brown color nitrogen dioxide. The chemical equation for the above reaction can be written as 2PbNO3 whole twice give rise to 2PbO plus 4NO2 plus O2. Fifth example is silver chloride reaction when it is exposed to sunlight. When silver chloride is exposed to light, it decomposes to form silver metal and chlorine gas. Silver remains in solid state and chlorine gas escapes. Since silver is left out product, it will be greyish in color. This reaction is used in black and white photography. Now, example 6 is, same reaction happens with silver bromide too. Let's see that too. When we keep the silver bromide in the sunlight, then after 2 to 3 hours, it turns into grey color. That is the reason it is always kept in dark bottles. When it is kept in sunlight, then the photoelectrons are attracted to the silver bromide. And when they are attracted, then the chemical reaction occurs. The reaction of silver chloride with sunlight is also called a photolytic decomposition reaction, in which the decomposition reaction is carried out by sunlight. The balanced chemical reaction can be written as 2AgBr in the presence of sunlight give rise to 2Ag plus Br2. With this, we can understand that these decomposition reactions require energy either in the form of heat, light or electricity for breaking down the reactants. And in the reactions where energy is absorbed are called endothermic reactions. Like here, the silver chloride and silver bromide are absorbing sunlight's energy to decompose. So, that's all for this session. This is me, Swati, signing off. Bye.